Hello guys, it's Yolanda from Soullight Space. I'm astrologer and tarot reader, and in this video I'm gonna show you the energies of the upcoming full moon in Gemini on December 8th. I will try to give you most important information without overwhelming you with a lot of details. That's because I want you to leave this video knowing what you really need to know, the most important stuff. I'm aware that we are now overwhelmed with information, news, everybody is now checking their phones all day long, social media scrolling, and there's a lot of information coming in and also leaving us very quickly. So I will try to concentrate for you all the most important stuff going on this week so you will survive without big problems. And I will also show you the big picture of this full moon, okay? Because this is how I like to see astrologer. This is not like a separate event. It's all connected to something bigger. So I will be also connecting some dots for you. Also, I wanted to let you know that I am offering readings, natal chart, different types, and also tarot reading. And right now I also have in my offer horoscope for 2023. If you want to know how this next year it's gonna play out for you with your energy, then just send me a message on my email. You can jump into the link down below, and you will find in this link my website, my Facebook, my Instagram, everything you want. I also invite you to follow me on social media, Instagram and Facebook, because I'm updating you day by day. I'm sending you some little messages, reminders about current energies. So I think it's nice to receive this sort of free gift because then in this daily action going on in our lives, we might forget that, oh gosh, it's today. So this is what I'm doing for you for free, so feel free to follow me on my social media. And again, anything you want to know about my offer prices, just jump into the website, everything in the link. And now let's focus on what I want to discuss in this video mostly. So full moon is in Gemini, and this full moon is in conjunction to Mars retrograde. So we have Moon and Mars in Gemini together, meeting together in the very exact same degree, 16 degree Gemini. And on the other side we have the sun in Sagittarius. That's how every full moon looks like. We have moon in one sign, and the moon and sun in the opposite one. So moon and sun meeting in polarity. And then we have the situation of trying to balance out those two energies. This is a very helpful moment also to deal with our inner conflicts, because opposition creates inner conflict in our psychological side. We have we are spread into directions. Each planet goes another way. So if you have opposition aspect in your natal chart, so this is also information for you that this is something to work with, to try to calm down this inner conflict by meeting those two planets somewhere in between, helping them to collaborate together. But in this full moon we have Sagittarius and Gemini, two opposite signs, and the fact why this is so tricky is because of this Mars being there in this opposition. So what is Mars in astrology? Anger, conflict, war, all those things that spark some sort of frustration, but also passion from the other side. It's also all that makes us feel alive, that we are desiring to do something, and this desire push us towards action. This is all sort of desire also, this erotic one. Mars is also talking about that. So everything that makes us, go for what we want, we need to feel this passion, desire to own something, to reach some goal. that's what like make the wheel roll, right? And right now, this energy that I just described is first of all in Gemini. So it's like the main focus in Mars in Gemini. It's learning, communication, how we express ourselves with others, how we talk, all about really interacting and exchanging information with other people, and also learning, absorbing this information from social media, from TV, from mass media, how you find your truth in all this chaotic mess. And this Mars being in retrograde now means that we are in the process of review, re-evaluation, retrospection, going. Actually, I should do this way, right? Because I always forget that it's like the opposite side. I'm still learning this YouTube thing, but you will see me in 1 year from now. I'm just starting, but I will be a pro, I promise. I'm actually waiting for the microphone to come. It's almost 1 month since I'm waiting for this microphone, and there is an issue with posts, and I just don't know where's this microphone. It disappeared. So I'm like all the time talking with the customer service and trying to fix that. So you see, this is again Mars retrograde, how this showed up in my life. Exactly like this. Gemini also rules travel, shopping, and you see what happened to me. It's like, it's like just this area of our life is not working well now, and you can see it on my example, right? Like this microphone should be with me like a few weeks ago, and then you would have a better sound in this video, but unfortunately we still need to wait. But it's coming, progress is coming, so this channel will also have some improvements in the future, you can be sure. But coming back to our full moon, so as we have this Mars retrograde, things are slowed down, there are delays, and that's all because now we have to stop our action a little bit and rethink how we actually take this action, if that's the correct way. Maybe we should, change our strategy. Also, same with conversations. For many of you, it can be like, less talk right now, less conversations, maybe even like some blockage in conversation, or you need to wait till you will be able to talk with somebody. That's because you need to think how you are actually doing this, if it's for sure the correct way to talk with people, the way how you use your words, the way how you treat your, like the second person in the conversation. If you are open to also listen to another perspective of another person, or maybe you jump into this energy that this full moon will show, conflict, anger, and also not solving the conflict, but even creating more of it instead of trying to find solution. So really, guys, think in general till mid-January with this Mars retrograde in Gemini. Think about your patterns in communication. How, especially with full moon with Mars, think about how is your approach to conflict and to expressing your anger. And if you let also other people be angry at you sometimes, and let you know about that, because I believe that especially in spiritual community, there might be this belief of you all the time need to be just light and love, and okay, everything is fine for me, I am a bubble of peace and nothing is bothering me, I am like Buddha kind of thing, calm and stuff. Bullshit. It's like you are human, you have emotions, you feel angry sometimes, and it's normal. You are sometimes pissed off, sometimes you lose your patience, sometimes you lose your nerves, sometimes your voice goes higher than usually, because that's a normal, again, totally normal and natural way of being human. We have all types of emotions. And I am saying this especially to Libra people and Pisces people, because you guys tend to have this problem. Libra is all about peace, and Libra wants to create balance and beauty everywhere, especially in partnerships, especially in relationships with like close people, but group dynamic, teamwork at work as well, friends. I'm fine, everything's okay, no problem for me. Yeah, it's all good. And then, inside she or he is angry. No, I don't like it. I don't like what she did to me right now. Why I'm not saying this to her, but no, I cannot say it because then we're gonna be in conflict and maybe our friendship will be gone. So I better keep it inside of me and I will pretend that I'm okay with whatever this person is doing or saying. I would just, create this illusion that everything is fine, and I would just, make myself like sick of being angry inwardly. This is something that happens a lot to Libra, and I'm talking from experience because I was also healing this side of me. I was very peaceful. I didn't want to, make any sort of, disagreement and conflict between me and people because I hate conflict in general. I don't like it. It's stressing me out. I love peace. I love balance. But at the same time, we need to learn to set boundaries and express when we are angry, when we don't like something, when there is something that we know that we will dislike and this will keep making us unhappy. So we need to address that in order to let the other person know that there is an issue like that and give this person the freedom to also decide something over it. Some people will be like, immature and they will not be willing to collaborate with you. And yes, maybe there will be end of friendship, love, whatever. But do you want a connection like this in your life where you cannot say honestly how you feel, where you cannot express your needs and feeling at least accepted by having those needs or having those problems, right? So this full moon is a lot about that, and it's again connected to eclipses, to those transits we had now with Venus, Mercury, So I'm talking now about like a big picture of things. So please keep in mind that we need to learn to also embrace anger. And me, I'm very spiritual since I was born. And, I'm astrologer. I work with intuition, with tarot, with chakras, with whatever, philosophy, psychology. So I consider myself a person that has some certain level of awareness, self-awareness. I was even on once I joined the course about how to speak in I don't know, with empathy, how to converse with people with empathy. I didn't have to learn that. I'm a Cancer moon, so this is my daily bread. I have this naturally. I understand another person's point of view, and I want to find middle ground with my Libra placements. But at the same time, I had to learn in my life to embrace also this Aries energy, which is the missing part. I have like a T-square in cardinal signs, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. They are like in tension. Almost all my horoscope is like this. And on the other side of the cycle, there's Aries energy. Aries is saying the truth directly. And I learned this also by being surrounded by Aries people. And I recommend you, if you have some missing energy, if you're in your chart and you see that it's a house that you would like to activate, surround yourself by people having this energy too. And you will have a life inspiration by you, your friends, your boyfriend, even your girlfriend, your whoever. If you have those energies embodied around you, you are learning. And I learned a lot from Aries. And in Aries is on my descendant, so I'm attracting Aries since I remember I had like friends, boyfriends, some dating or stuff. But I feel good with this energy because they are teaching me, and I feel inspired. And by seeing them being so bold and so open to say how they feel, they set boundaries. They are very, honest, not like Libra, going around and no, it's all okay. No, this is like a sharp, direct communication. So this is something I had to learn. So I'm talking from experience. It's not easy for Libra, for Pisces. I am 12th houser. It's a Pisces energy. We always have in focus other people. We want everybody to be happy. But with time, now I'm over 30, so it's another stage of life. Now I understand I need to set boundaries. I need to be clear about my boundaries. I need to tell people when I don't have energy for them, when I'm just tired, that I'm not available. I'm sorry. The same with when another person is, triggering me, doing some things that, I know that they are touching, my wounds, my inner problems. I try to say it to people. And then whatever you want to do with this, I'm fine, because this is your free will, your freedom, and I want to give people freedom. If they want to try to collaborate with me, if they want to try to, find this middle ground, find some compromise, or maybe they are totally, into, me, myself, and I don't care about your needs, then I also don't want people like this in my life. So, I'm not losing anything in such situations. That's how I perceive that. So that's why, guys, I would like you to really be encouraged by this video to show your anger, but in a healthy way. Because now this full moon might work for some of you in the way that, you are like accumulating a lot of tension because you are not expressing your anger, even though you felt it, but you didn't want to be in conflict, right? You were afraid to say to another person how you truly feel, so you didn't make it. And now, full moon, tension with Mars, the Lord of War, planet of conflict, aggression. Full moon, this together on Thursday, actually from now on, this week in general, this can make you explode like a volcano. You just cannot stand it anymore. Like you have so much. And what can happen now? That you are accumulating anger from different people, from your boss, from your coworker, from your friend, from your family, box filling up. And on the full moon, you explode on maybe even a totally innocent person that didn't made anything wrong to you, but that was like this final spark that you needed. It was like this final drop that filled up the whole glass and it explodes. And that's why sometimes people, jump on those poor cashiers or all those people working in the customer service, on whoever, because they are like already so, over everything and full of anger, and then just one random person, one random situation happens and they are like, wow, and this is not fair to explode on people who didn't make you anything, actually, right? So in order to have a quite peaceful, balanced life, we need to express our emotions without repressing them in a healthy way, day by day, when we are still on this low level of being angry, not, till this will be like accumulated. This is like, when you are cleaning your house, and instead of doing like a real normal deep cleaning, you are like, hiding things, right? Like in your closet, or maybe you are brushing the floor and you are like brushing this, behind some furniture or under the carpet, right? So this is exactly what many people do with anger. Okay, I'm not gonna say it. Everything is okay. You are even like manipulating yourself and lying to yourself that no, it's okay. I'm fine with this. It's okay. Most important thing is that nobody is mad at me, because this is the end of the world for Libra, Pisces. Oh my God, like heart is broken. Guys, right people will not be mad at you when you express yourself in an authentic, free way. And that's what I try to create in my connections with people. My friends are always welcome to let me know. I cannot answer you now. I am working, and then I'm okay whenever you can. Like sometimes I'm waiting for a few days till the answer, and not even waiting. I just let it be. Whatever this person feels like talking to me, she will or he will let me know. Okay, we are adults. We don't have time for you know every single thing that another person might need in this right moment. So this is another thing, but this is about setting boundaries. Like 10 15 years ago, I know it's still this Neptune is in my mind, you can see that. Yesterday I had like a Neptunian fog total level heart. But anyways, I'm talking about the mental confusion that we have in transits. Just in case you don't follow me on Instagram or Facebook, but you can still do it. So then you will know better what I'm talking about in those videos too. But what I want to say is that this full moon can really help us actually to reflect about that. What is your way of showing anger to people? Are you waiting till you explode? Are you lying to yourself that you are not angry because you are like so spiritually developed that you don't feel anger ever? I sometimes feel angry. Not often, because this is also my lifestyle. Like, I have a slow life. I live in a very peaceful country. Here things go very slow and calm, and it's actually hard to get angry here. But probably if I would be in some big city, a lot of rush, people yelling, stress and stuff, maybe I will change. I don't know. I just created a perfect life for me where I don't have many triggers affecting my nervous system in a negative way, and that's how I want to live, because it's more pleasant when you are in balance, right? But yeah, it can be challenging, especially when you live in a big city surrounded by many people, when you have many people at work, when there's tension, conflict. But I think that we should learn to communicate. Gemini, communication, words you use. Are you waiting till you will explode and then you will say something to another person that you will later regret, and maybe this will make your relationship over even? Or you are, taking few deep breaths before you speak. You try to be more thoughtful about what you want to say. Maybe first you try to release your anger in a physical way. You can go to the gym, you can go on your bike, go to hike some little mountain around you, go to the park, run, even clean the house. This is also physical movement, to release the tension from the body, because body and soul is connected. And after you do that, then you go to that person, and then you speak in a mature, calm way, but in a clear way as well, like in an honest way. Like, look, this is something I don't like. This makes me feel bad. This is something that I will not stand longer. Do you want to work with me on that? Do you want to collaborate with me? Or how is your vision? Is there any way you could do it in a different way for me to help me? This sounds way much better than you freaking, what? I don't want to say bad words here, but sometimes we say like this to each other when we are like very angry, and then we start this regret waterfall, and not regret, sorry, like guilt's a game that, but you did this to me 5 months ago and I didn't say anything to you, so why you are now this is again manipulation, emotional manipulation, that people are trying to escape from the problem by bringing another conflict to the game, and focusing on what you did wrong before, instead of being open to understand that this is not like attack. This person has intention to initiate some transformation between you, and healing, and compromise process. I think, without compromise, if you are not able to compromise at all, like 0%, then your path should be a solo path, because you will be like, it's impossible to create connection with such a person that is like not willing to change at all. You know, some signs, especially Aquarius, very individualistic, like, you know, nobody will change me and stuff, you know. Also fire signs a bit, but some signs have this sort of energy that they want to be untouched. They don't want anybody to, you know, tell them what to do. And I also don't like it, of course. But, you know, it's like all about paying some sort of price for what you have in your life. If you are able to pay with, you know, compromising a little bit and trying to see needs of another person, and, you know, in return you will have this person in your life, or you are like totally stubborn in this, you know, this belief that I am who I am, that's how I am, take it or leave it, you know, this sort of vibration. I think it's very unhealthy to serve. Of course, I'm always about authenticity. I love people to feel free next to me, to be who they are, to be able to express their needs, their anger. I get like, I'm happy, you know, with, especially when I have friends who I know that they had problems with that, and then next to me they are able to say it, like, you know, this made me bad when you did that, when you said that. I am happy when they write this to me, even though, you know, I also feel like, oh, such a pity that, you know, this happened. I would prefer people to be, you know, happy around me. But sometimes, you know, my path creates an energy in a negative way for another person. That's also normal. You know, don't expect perfection in relationships and friendships. It's always will be a bit of up and down, and that's also normal. But anyways, this full moon lights up the angry issues in our life. You know, sun is illuminating, full moons show some sort of truth. They help us in some sort of awakening moment. We see clearer some things, you know. This sun is shining on this Mars and moon in Gemini, highlighting those issues. You know, expressing our anger, also going for things we want to get and have in our lives, because again, Mars is passion, moon is our emotional needs. And Gemini is all about, again, words, communication, talking. So those things combined together for me, the lesson of this full moon is about trying to remove, because, you know, full moon is, we let go, right? We close the chapter. This is like the final day of lunar cycle, and we release some things because we are getting ready for the new cycle. So this is a closure. This is like a closing energy. So you want to think what you want to leave behind those closed doors in your energy, in communication, in angry issues, and also in the way how you achieve your goals, because this is also Mars. And being in retro, we are in this journey till mid-January, as I mentioned before. So remember that this full moon will only make this energy stronger now, but we still stay in this self-reflection about those things that I mentioned. We supposed to improve the way how we communicate, the way how we learn things, the way also how we search for information. I'm gonna talk about it now. And yeah, all this, you know, conflict energy, beliefs about conflict, beliefs about you and your anger. As I mentioned before, you know, it's all about your choice. You can believe if you want. I am not messing with your ideology, with your belief system. If you want to get stuck in your belief system, you think this belief system works for you and serves you, you know, this is your free will. But I'm sharing my own perspective, okay? And you just take whatever resonates with you. If you disagree with me, I'm absolutely fine with that. Just follow your path. But from my perspective, I think we went too much into this positive psychology, only thinking about positive things and, repressing everything that it's dark, ugly, shameful, that it's so-called negative. And now we have, tons of people having mental problems because all this energy stays in you. Whatever you don't express, whatever you suppress in you, stays in your subconscious and starts to control your life from behind. Behind the scenes, 12th house, subconscious mind, you don't even know that this energy controls you. You are like a slave of the energy. So we need to learn to release energies, and anger is a natural state of human beings sometimes. Same with crying, same with feeling lost, with feeling unhappy, with feeling low, even depressed. Those are states of our emotional energy, and we should not be ashamed to feel any of this. It's normal, at least for me. From my perspective, it's normal. You want to cry? Cry. It's fine. That's what you need right now. And that's the whole picture of the full moon that I see here, okay? To focus on those things. And one more thing, media. This is my favorite one. I cannot say much about this because, in those times, probably most of you know that certain things you just cannot say loudly. If you're in Norway, somewhere around, please contact me. We can go for a coffee and I will talk with you in private. But here in the public eye, all I can say is, speak in a more enigmatic way, and I hope you guys gonna get it. And if not, then maybe this is not the right moment for you to, connect some dots and see what is truly going on in this world. But Sagittarius, Gemini, right? When did we have nodes in those signs? I don't know if you guys remember, May 2020, that was the start of nodal journey on the axis of Gemini Sagittarius. This cycle is showing us our destination of learning, our soul growth. And it was pointing out on this axis, Gemini, Sagittarius. We were supposed to learn, and that ended this year in January. In January, we switched to Taurus, Scorpio axis, right? So eclipses in this year were about Taurus, Scorpio. Finances, a lot of financial issues, possessions, savings, money. So you can see that this is definitely on focus now in the world. Economy, right? But coming back to Sagittarius, Gemini, 2020, what happened in 2020? What happened in the mass media in 2020? News, fake news, manipulation about certain specific theme that, again, I cannot say too much about it. But that was a lesson for us about how we search for information and for our truth. And now, during this full moon, this is also a nice time for you to self-reflect if you really learned the lesson of that time. Because I think that was a very strong lesson about information, about media that humanity received. And who was, open-minded, who was searching for himself, herself in alternative sources, who was open to see beyond manipulation, propaganda, who was also challenging so-called truth showed to us in mass media. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. And those of you who don't know, well, there's a huge ocean for you to discover, and I hope you will find the way to find it out. I don't want to say much more, but coming back to the moment right now, think about the way how you find out what is true and what is not. If you see news in the internet, do you believe it like at once and you share it with your friends and you get into maybe panic or fear because something is going on in the world? And if you see those headlines of articles, do you enter this article? Do you read the article and find out what the message is all about? Or you just see the headline, which is always overdone because it has to attract your attention. So it's like always, often, very often, this is like trying to produce some emotion in you. And this is again manipulation. Media are based on manipulation. They there are special, those are like there's a lot of specialists, psychological specialists. I also know a bit about that. I was studying this as well, how you can manipulate people, how you can be manipulated, what techniques are in use. And I see them very clearly day by day anytime I enter internet. It's like all about this. That's why I don't participate in that, and I do not let those people have control over me, over my thinking, over my emotions. I tried. Sometimes I also jump into some fear and panic, but once I notice that, I'm trying to remove myself from this. And that's because I was really observing what was going on from 2020 in media. I really, during those nodes in Gemini, Sagittarius, this is happening. I have like, same houses as signs just in opposition. So it was 3rd and 9th house for me activated during these nodes in Sagittarius, Gemini from 2020. So I do see now that I was really like digging deep for truth. I was challenging the mass media, propaganda, let's say. I didn't participate in many things that most of society participated based on what they heard in TV. Okay, I didn't. In different themes, also in the one that was happening this year. Even though nodes changed then in February, and from February, what happened in Europe. And I also refused to, in the beginning, yes, I started, it's always, sometimes I'm not perfect, but I quickly realized what is going on here, and I also removed my energy from this. And now I just try to not watch almost anything, because I know that this source of information is used not in our favor. And remember that people are powerful when they don't feel the fear, when they don't feel like there's nothing they can do about it, that that things are out of control for them. And fear is working like this. So whenever you see a news that is trying to spark this fear in you, I would pay attention. This is a red flag already. Okay, somebody wants to try, somebody is trying to create panic in society by spreading some information. This should be a red flag for us, because that's how control is imposed on us people by authorities. Saturn is still in Aquarius. Aquarius is, democracy, people, equality, and Saturn is this restriction. Aquarius is freedom, and Saturn is limiting that. Saturn represents old tradition and authority. So this is also, this transit is since March 2020. What happened in March 2020 in the world when Saturn entered Aquarius? Everything is aligned. That's why I always say I don't believe in astrology. I just see it working. So what's the point of believing or not? What's the point of even questioning that? It's like just working. And I have like tons of proofs about that. So I just, I just use it. I just use it for predictions, for guidance for myself, for my clients, for helping people, because it's somehow working. Maybe one day we will discover exactly why, but I think we still don't know much about the world, and that's why we should be very careful who we trust in terms of truth. Okay. And today, actually, right before this video, I saw a very like so aligned quote, aligned with this full moon energy, with my thoughts about this full moon that I wanted to share with you. So I wrote it down because my phone is here now. So I will just read this for you. This is the quote made by the account on Instagram, Words Eye Vibrations. Probably some of you know. Very, very cool memes. I really like this account. Very like, funny, but at the same time very intelligent. So here's the quote. One truth is holding humanity back from its true potential. The Matrix is not a place. It's a mass media magic spell which diverts our awareness away from sovereign creative consciousness towards disempowering narratives. Disempowering narratives. This is how I see media. They take our power away. They distract us. They fill us with fear. They fill our mind with some totally stupid news, gossip about celebrities that are often like totally, not fake, they just create news about some celebrity, and they, you saw what was happening, for example, with this, there was some divorce of Johnny Depp. Now, this year, I think it was this year, right? That was crazy. It was like online transmission. Jesus Christ. So people were probably, many people in the world, they were spending their time watching this. I don't know what to say, actually. And it was everywhere, because you see, like, I don't watch much of that, but it was coming to me anyway, from everywhere. So anytime I see this sort of message that it's like everywhere, spreading around, everybody talks about it, then I know, okay, so this is another toy, another method to distract us from the reality. And then behind the door, there's a lot of things going on about our law, about our rules, about politics, things that we supposed to not know, or we supposed to know about them once they are done, and we cannot do anything about it, like to change them. Also protests were very active this year because Uranus was squaring Saturn. That's the energy of rebellion towards authority, towards rules and restrictions. But I am sometimes afraid that those protests are also used to distract us somehow. Because it actually happened physically in my country, for example, that during protests about abortion, women's rights to decide over their own body, there were like huge protests in 2020 about that in Poland. And during this time, government did some changes, actually, away from public eye. And those laws, those documents, they were even more important than that. So we need to be aware that, not every person in this world is our friend. I do believe in the power of society, And I hope that Pluto in Aquarius will bring this power back to us people. But before this happens, we can expect that the process will be hard and painful, like with Pluto always. So next year, it's also a big challenge for us as society to fight for our freedom and for our power to come back to us people. And first, we need to take this power away from other people who are now in power. And that's one of this is one of ways we can do that, by not playing in this game. The game of making us fearful, in panic, totally disempowered, like the quote I wrote, right? Like our awareness is not on important things, but on some bullshit, some, deep force of some celebrity, or some reality shows, some stupid videos about nothing. And Gemini Sagittarius is about that, about knowledge, especially Sagittarius high knowledge. Gemini is learning student. It's like how we learn also. And this energy wants to encourage us to open our eyes. Full moon is eye-opening energy. The secret comes to the surface very often during the full moon. We see the truth that was hidden in ourselves, in other people. That's why it's so tense, because tension creates action. So maybe there are some things also that needs to be said in terms of angry issues and stuff. And yes, I expect that many of you will have conflict. Those of you who were not dealing in a healthy way with anger, you might, have some strong conversations going on. This is not a good time for that, remember, but sometimes that's the only way when you can express yourself, when you are under such a tension and pressure that you just finally do it, so sometimes that's also a relief coming to you. So try to do it all in alignment with your own energy, but my general message is to try to go through those next days, adding to your daily routines some sort of grounding and peaceful energies as well. Meditation, soft, calm music, going to nature, doing some sport, breathing, just by breathing, this is already calming us. Drinking warm water, also drink a lot of water during full moon always. This is a time when also our body purifies easy, so we can remove toxins from our body in the physical way. And keep in mind that the world is not always working in our favor. I talk about politics, media, journalists and politicians. This is like a symbiotic web of lies and manipulation. Journalist needs drama, so then you will read them, if there's something going on, something very like stressful, huge going on, affecting you emotionally, you're gonna jump into the article and read that. And politicians needs to show us that they are responsive to the conflict. If there is some catastrophe going on, some disaster, some problem, then what is going on in media? All of them, they go to the place where something happened to show to the public that they are responsible, they take care of the situation. This is the time when they can show, proudly how they fix the problem, right? And this is also for something, right? To keep the power and keep also the public eye on them. So journalists and politicians, they work together, So what you see in media, what you see in TV, this is connected to politicians. And politicians have the biggest power when you have no power at all. And the way to take your power away from you is by creating fear, by making you scared of what is going on, of making you feel like in panic. When you are fearful, then you follow what they say, right? So this is my final message of this video. I know it was like about a lot of different topics, but that's also a bit how I am. I like to, use astrology to explain something bigger than just, this one Thursday, December 8th, when we gonna have this tense energy and probably some of you will explode. I want you to use this in a deeper sense to, make changes in your energy on a deep level, to the point that if any next day in the future we gonna still have this sort of energy of anger, conflict, then you have tools to deal with this in a healthy way, because you have learned to manage your emotions, to have those healthy conversations with people around you, to solve conflicts in a healthy way. And again, conflict is natural between people because we are different. We will never be like 100% same, agreeing with every single thing. We will have different points of view. So in order to function in society in a healthy way, we need to create this openness to receive feedback, to receive another point of view, and accept that truth is not one. Everybody has their own truth. And also keep in mind that this energy now, also with Jupiter here being involved, it can be very arrogant. You might act or see people acting maybe a little bit too, how I can say, like arrogant, just arrogant. Like, for example, another person having totally different view than you and expressing this view to you is met by you with anger and maybe even disrespect, and maybe even you saying things to that person in a not nice way. Once, I had some Sagittarius in my family, and I also had few meetings with very strong Sagittarius people. Sagittarius Sun is in Sagittarius now, so it's a part of full moon. And Sagittarius, all of them, they had one thing in common, that they like to say something like, you are not right, because I'm right, you are not. Okay, anytime I would have a different point of view, it would be met with this attitude of, you're not right. Like, they are just completely deleting me and my vision from their perception. And not only that, they also put me down. And this is very disrespectful for me. This is a shadow side of Sagittarius. Every person has Sagittarius in their chart. So have a look if you don't have maybe this sort of vibration in your energy, because I think this is like a closing door to understanding. I disagree with people. I have different vision about certain things, but I never say something like, you are not right, because I always stay open to the fact that I might be not right in everything I say, because who knows the final truth about this world, about life? Definitely not us humans. We are limited by our senses, by our patterns, by our filters in our psyche that we have, and we project a lot. We like to get stuck in some patterns, and it's very hard sometimes, especially for fixed signs, to be more flexible, to get out of this box of beliefs that you created. So this is something that it's a challenge for us with this full moon, to have a look at ourselves and think what I can remove from my life in order to communicate better with people, in letting also people have different points of view than me without attacking them, without creating aggression and conflict, unnecessary conflict between us. Because I think the fact that somebody thinks in another way than you should not be the reason of conflict. we should have maybe more tolerance and acceptance that, you know, every single brain in this world is like a one little galaxy, little universe. There was the meme like people that had universe instead of heads walking on the streets. That's how I see people. This is my world. This is how I see things. I am sharing this now with you. And again, if you disagree with something, absolutely fine. Because even I disagree with myself after a while. Sometimes I come back to my previous thoughts and I think in another way today. I am transforming my mental energy all the time, my belief system, the way how I perceive higher truths in life. So I think this is a gate of learning. Gemini is about learning new things from other people. So try to reflect during this full moon. Even you can write it down. I always suggest making a list of few things in your energy, in your life, in your patterns that you feel like they are not aligned with you growing, with you being more evolved and having a more peaceful life. So you can have this sort of reflection during this full moon too, and just think if there's something in you that is stopping this learning process, that is stopping you from finding the truth. Media, for example, in my case, that's if I would say like examples, communication, then my past self would be like, okay, I don't know how to say no. I have problems with setting boundaries. I have problems with expressing how I truly feel. I have problems with accepting that I get angry sometimes and I hide it. My Mars is in 12th house, secretive house. So I had to work with this issue as well. But also you can see that how I am modifying my natal chart, right? Natal chart holds a lot of lessons, but you can choose to learn and change your energy. Now I am definitely way much more direct, and I let people know about my needs. Then you choose what to do with that, but I need to express it. I need you to know this is my need. And also, what else? Learning, yeah. So we had communication, then how you seek the truth, see if the way how you are searching for information and news is serving you, or maybe not really. And also how you think about conflict in general and how you solve the conflict. Again, we have square, this energy squares Virgo and Pisces. Pisces especially has this problem of escaping from problem. Okay, problem is showing up, I'm gone. Bye. I don't want to deal with that. Being afraid to face the reality. This is a shadow side of Pisces too. So you can also think about that a little bit. If there's maybe not something going on in your energy about you not really being able to solve any conflict because it's like so scary and stressful for you to avoid any sort of conversation, and you get panic, you close yourself off, and then that's the reason why this conflict turns into a drama, because maybe it could be solved in 1 minute by just talking, you know. And instead of that, there are like weeks, months, years, or whole life without talking to each other. And this is maybe the last thing I want to say: silent treatment instead of solving conflict. I see this also a lot, and I think it's very unhealthy as well, because again, like the conflict, if it's not resolved, this conflict will stay with you for the rest of your life. That's how it works. You can think now, you know, probably you had some maybe situations in your past, at school maybe, that you stopped talking to somebody, or maybe in your family, you know, conflict, unresolved. This is heavy. This is like, you know, pain in the ass. You keep carrying this pain with you in your backpack your whole life instead of dealing with that. Sometimes, you know, I experienced that in my life, that sometimes sending one a letter or message or just talking to somebody in a clear way remove the whole crap energy. Even this year it happened to me a few times, I think, that I was feeling there's something wrong going on, and after the conversation I was like, why it was so easy, you know? And I was like thinking about this for so long and stressing about that. So you see, guys, communication is the key in this world. If we want to have connections with people, we need to learn how to communicate. That's why this Mars retro in Gemini, please use this to the fullest, because this is our learning path. We are going back to our patterns in communication, learning, going for what we want, our action, how we take action. Also, you know, internet, social media, media in general, all those topics are activated by Gemini, by Mars retro. So please go back. Please see yourself honestly. See what you are doing in the wrong way. Maybe you are keep doing same stuff over and over again, experiencing same bad result all the time, and maybe it's time to change your strategy in those matters. So this full moon can definitely help you. So again, if you want, you can make a list. I don't want this anymore in my life. This is something that is not helping me. You can even burn this this list if it's like on paper, in a candle or something. No, be careful. I don't want anybody to end up in fire, especially, you know, Mars. Okay, maybe don't burn anything during this full moon, but write it down to have clarity over yourself and over your learning, information, communication access. And you know, think about it in the way that we are entering this Pluto in Aquarius, and Aquarius is all about being individual in a mass, inside the crowd, not being individual alone, but as a part of a group. This is Aquarius. So we need to learn how to be individualistic and connecting to others at the same time. So we need to really learn how to communicate and how to express ourselves truly, authentically. That's why I see this full moon very much connected to the whole global big picture process going on for many years for us. So use this as a chance for you to get more prepared for this Pluto in Aquarius, which will definitely transform a lot in our society, and we will head towards the Aquarius type of vibration. Aquarius is the friend of everybody. Aquarius is letting everybody be free and authentic, and at the same time this energy is able to still be individualistic, original, not copying others, being yourself. So in order to become that, you cannot be like shadow side of Libra saying, it's okay, it's fine, I have no problem with you know, saying things like this to me or stuff. We need to really learn to respect ourselves and the other person at the same time mutually. And this is a difficult lesson, but you know, communication is an art that very few know how to do in a perfect way. I also make a lot of mistakes in my communication sometimes, and you know, we are just humans, but we always have the chance to do things better every day. So keep that in mind. I hope that this video is gonna serve you somehow. If yes, then please leave a like. You can comment something if some thoughts in you would like to be, you know, expressed here publicly. I'm always happy to see your comments. Please subscribe to my channel, of course, for more videos. I want to make video about Pluto in Aquarius, Saturn entering Pisces probably too, probably Jupiter changing sign too, maybe nodes, eclipses next year. Maybe I will make a video about next year in general, most important transits. And again, I invite you to book a reading with me if you would like to see your natal chart. I have different types, basic, in-depth, with transits, with tarot reading. I do love compatibility. We can see if you guys match, and if you don't match, then what you can do to match better. I do child horoscope, locational astrology as well if you are planning to move, and so then you can modify your energy by changing your location. A lot of things I can offer, and I keep adding some new offers often, actually, because I keep having new ideas. So you can always have a look at my website. Maybe there's already some updated offer. And yeah, booking is very easy. You go to my website, you choose your reading, and you write me an email, and that's it. Okay, very easy. So that's all. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.